gender and media. And class and the media. Start of photos. For the 15, good morning and welcome to this new world classroom affairs. Race, social equality, gender, and sexual orientation are the reasons in social inequality. But how do media can affect this? And how is the social inequality here in the Philippines is my report. Social inequality is the existence of unequal opportunities and rights for the person and group of society because of their different race or ethnicity, social class, gender, and sexual orientation. And the media has a big impact on this. For example, for race or ethnicity, the Muslim citizens here in the urban area, a lot of people try to not interact with them because media always displayed the negative sides or the wrongdoings of the Muslim people in different places. So, will affect their opportunities or chances to have a decent job here. For social class. First, media and film industry always portrayed citizens with a better social status, appeal citizens lower than them in different aspects. So, second, the unlucky children in your families didn't have a chance to graduate even in elementary. And third, it was recognized that the income gap in the Philippines between rich and poor was wider in the country Indonesia, in Thailand, Indonesia, and etc. And for gender, commercials always depicts that women and girls are whimsical, inferior beings, and sex objects only for men or just pleasing men. And although Philippines is one of the best performing countries in the closing the gender gaps in different aspects, we still can't deny that a lot of Filipino women always in their homes, serving their husband and children because it is customary for the majority. And thus, for the sexual orientation, for gays and lesbians, the LGBT community in the Philippines has steadily been gaining greater visibility in the news and information media. LGBT people working in fashion and arts are often given some measure and tolerance, especially if they are successful. We have a breaking news. Die, Jadal Lovely in the pambansang, tayo pambansang, batasang pambansa. Jadal?
Good morning. I'm now here live at the Quezon Pambansa, where we can hear the last state of the nation address of our President Aquino. As we can see, President Aquino presents accomplishments and plans in his final year in office. And also, Aquino recalled the issues of former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo administration that were inherited to him before his term began, such as the Low Garcia scandal. He also even highlighted kung walang koral, walang mahirap. President Aquino's sauna will last less or more than 2 hours. That's all for now. For this breaking news, share passionately, connect quickly. Echo?
Thank you, Jadal. In the meanwhile, here's Julia, just media contestant next to the outlook of social world. Here's Julia for the details.
Thank you, Ego. Now let's go to the media content and the real world. Media are so central to our daily lives that we often use more than one form at a time. Multitasking is common, and media devices, many of them are deeply integrated into social life. Now, the question on how media's representations of the social world The question of how media representations of the social world compare to the external real world raises several issues. The literature in media and cultural studies reminds us that representations are not reality. The result of process of selection that invariably mean that certain aspects of reality are highlighted and others neglected. Even though we often use the realness of image as a basis for evaluating representations, whether we like it or not, all representations represent the social world in both ways that are incomplete and narrow. The media usually do not try to reflect the real world. Most of us would like news programs, history books, and documentary films to represent the happenings in the social world as fairly and accurately as possible. And we generally agree with the social constructionist perspective, which suggests that no representations of the social world can ever be totally true or real because it must inevitably frame an issue and choose to include and exclude a certain components of a motivation reality. Up next, we'll see other hottest issues in media and reality after this. Still here at E.B.A. How someone lives stood on their social media versus reality. Everyone in the internet, they're not having a great time as a time as you think they are. What you see on Snapchat. TV news in reality. Let's watch this video. Finally, the question of how media representations of the social world seems to imply that the media should protect the society. This premise is not agreed on. For many people, media are an escape from the reality of daily life. Therefore, how real media products are is irrelevant to many people. It is not necessary to believe that the media should accurately reflect the society in order to compare the media representation with the social world. And that's all for my report. I'm Julia Liana, your bachelor's in Kinesiology.
Thank you, Julia. Meanwhile, what does racialism mean to the media? Here's Joel for the report. Joel?
Thank you, Echo. Are you interested in developing deeper understanding of the values, beliefs, and behaviors in perspectives of those different from you? If you are interested in questioning the media in your hand, on your screen and pervasively surrounding you, race and media is the intellectual meeting place to develop your media literacy. Imagine function-oriented, media-driven society. Much of that comes to pass is important is based upon the stories produced and disseminated media instructions. Much of what audiences know and care about is based on the images, symbols, and narrative in radio, television, music, and other media. How do you come understand what it means to be male, female, black, white, Asian, Latino, Native American? Is shaped by commodified text produced by media for audiences that are increasingly segmented by social constructions of race and gender. Media are central to that ultimately come to represent our social realities. Although research on race and gender, media traditionally has focused on underrepresented, subordinate groups such as women and minorities. We examine media constructions of masculinity, femininity, so-called people of color, even white people. Racism involves prejudice and discrimination. The most seemingly basic of racism facts, the issue defining exactly what it is, can actually be very problematic. Racism involves prejudice and discrimination based upon perceived ideas about the biological differences between people, Kenneth Clark had a test about prejudice and discrimination in black and white people. Their experiments using dolls study children's attitude about race. Watch this video.
Is the black doll? And which one is the white doll? Which doll is the pretty doll? Which doll is the nice doll? Which doll is the bad doll? Which doll is the nice doll? And which doll is the bad doll? And why is that doll pretty?
Because she's white and he has 2 eyes.
Which doll is the ugly doll? Why is that doll ugly?
Because he's black.
Which doll looks most like you?
That's me.
Yeah, which one looks like you?
And that one.
Okay.
There are many positive racism facts regarding anti-racism.
Show me the doll.
An organization which raised awareness in the fight against racism. In the 1970s, in British Britain, white nationalist groups such as National Front were on race, including Eric Clapton. And Bowie appeared to make racist and xenophobic comments. One of the more positive racism facts is that throughout history, powerful movements of anti-racism have existed to oppose discriminatory beliefs and action. Generally, anti-racism promotes the notion of egalitarian society in which people are not discriminated against by race of ethnicity, historical case. After the short break, we will give to you the top 5 celebrities who have been caught being racist.
Shut up kasi.
Before we go to the report about gender and media, this time we will give to you the top 5 celebrities who have been caught being racist. And this is kakaibang facts. The top 5 celebrities who have been caught being racist. Let's start it. We have top 1. Floyd Mayweather. The boxer disrespected Filipinos after racially attacking opponent Manny Pacquiao on ESPN in 2012. Mayweather went after basketball star Jeremy Lin with a tweet that said Jeremy Lin is a good player, but all the hype is because he is Asian. And we have top 2. Miley Cyrus. Disney Queen Princess Miley Cyrus apologized for participating in a controversial group photo by pulling at the corner of her eyes to make them slanted, commonly associated with mocking Asian. And we have, in the 3rd place, we have Paris Hilton. An excerpt from Neil Strong's books entitled Everyone Loves You When You're Dead. Paris Hilton was quoted as saying, "I can stand black guys. I would never touch one, it's rosy." That's kind of rare. Okay. And we have Justin Bieber. Originally filmed for Bieber 2012 documentary Never Say Never, Bieber is sitting in a room, Los Angeles, with a group of friends. Bieber sets a joke when his friends can be heard in the background, advising him not finish the joke before Bieber smirks and delivered the punchline. Bieber received a lot of backlash from his fans, believers. On Twitter, one fan said Bieber is actually disgusting. Man's gone too far for this time. Another one posted, Bieber no excuse, acceptable reason for racism. And on the top 5, we have Krishan. The Caucasian female rapper denied posting tweets in 2012 that said, sometimes I wish slavery was still going on. And I don't need black fans anyway. Krishan said her Twitter was hacked and sent out a half-hearted apology that by morning, Krishan had apology to their fans and quoted, I'm sorry, and said, I love fried chicken. And that's the top 5 celebrities who have been caught being racist. And I'm Joe Feliaon from Elite Broadcasting Affairs, share passionately, connect with me.
Thank you, Jovel. For the other news, how media affects the role of men and women. For the details, here's Kim. Kim?
Thanks, Enko. This is Elite Broadcasting Affairs update about gender and media. Gender and media, workings of communication in creating gender roles and identity in society. The gender is the social and cultural significance, yet attached to those presumed biological differences, and also refers to what we become as men and women. Media play important roles in society. They report on current issues, provide frameworks for interpretation, mobilizing defense regarding the various issues, and to entertain everybody. The media can be an important actor in the promotion of gender equality, both within the working environment and the representation of men and women. And now, let's hear some opinion about gender roles and identity by David on YouTube.
When I was growing up, I was always told that there were boys and there were girls, and you were one or the other, and that was about it. There was this pressure from society that you were either a strong, manly, whatever man, or the super feminine, whatever. Oh, look at me, girl. That was a horrible description of gender stereotypes. But let's move on. Think of it this way. If society is Oprah, and we're all Oprah's audience, therefore we're all the members of society, it's kind of like Oprah standing there, and she's looking at all of us, and she's going, you're a boy, you're a girl. You're a boy, you're a boy, you're a girl, you're a girl. I don't know where this analogy is going, but I'm trying, and I hope it helped a bit. And I think in that sense, we see gender as something that's so black and white, that you're either a boy and you are everything that's associated with being a boy and what they're supposed to be, or you're a girl and you're everything that a girl is supposed to be. What the problem is what if you aren't one of those things? What if you aren't one of those two very extreme, very unrealistic expectations? What if you're a girl who hates wearing makeup and you would rather wear a suit than a dress? Or you're a boy who cannot stand sports and you would love to sit there and just paint your fingernails? The short answer is that that's completely okay. And in that sense, I see gender like sexuality. To me, sexuality is something that's very fluid. Gender is very spectrum-like. Gender is very much, you're just somewhere along there. And some of us are more masculine, some of us are more feminine, and we can identify however we want and act however we want. So at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with defining a gender stereotype. There's nothing wrong with not fitting in like that. And there's nothing wrong with fitting in. Either way, it doesn't matter. How I express my gender, how I express how I feel that I am a boy, or how you may feel that you're a girl, or you may feel that you're none of those things. However you express that is absolutely okay. Unfortunately, I think it's very hard for people who like to go against those gender stereotypes. We live in a world that prides itself on using those gender stereotypes. Take products, for example. This is my deodorant. You get to see my deodorant today. Great. If you look at it, it says men right on it. It's a dark color. It's marketed towards guys. To me, this kind of brings up this idea that when I was younger, I always thought to myself, why don't companies make more things for guys? There should be more guys shampoos. There should be more guys soaps. All these weird things, you know? But when you think about it, why can't I go out and buy a woman's hair product? I can't. When I bought products that are kind of stereotypically for women, like face wash, for example, when I buy it, I sometimes feel almost a little bit uncomfortable buying it. In my head, I'm thinking to myself, this is a product that girls usually buy. So the cashier is gonna think that it's weird that I'm buying this because I'm a guy. I know that's kind of a small example, but I think that something like that is something that people who struggle with their gender identity go through on a daily basis, and it's not right. There should not be gendered products. There should not be gender expectations. There should not be this general idea of what you should be like just because you have a penis or just because you have a vagina. And when you have one of those two things, you're immediately stereotyped into what you should look like, what you should act, and how you should overall be. And something like that is just so wrong. So my overall advice then is that you should just be yourself. Gender stereotypes are really stupid, and if you are somebody who goes against them, I praise you, because that is not something that I can comfortably do. I hope what I said makes sense. So
It's a real problem that we live in society that only values through gender stereotype. There's nothing wrong with applying a gender stereotype, and there's nothing wrong with possessing a stereotypical gender. And next, changing media roles for men and women. The media images of men and women reflect and reproduce a rule set for stereotypical but changing gender roles. On primetime television, men are more likely to be cast than women as the main characters, and men speak practically more than women. In addition, we see women focus on friends, family, and romance, while men are more likely to be portrayed in work-related activities. Nowadays, the media has major control over societal norms and influences opinions and perspective through psychology. Specifically, the female viewers are subconsciously changing countless women after their body image and mindset to reflect the view in the every go advertisement. And for the other updates about diversity of sexuality, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender people are still underrepresented in mainstream media. But things are slowly changing. In particular, television is offering primetime audiences the chance to get to know the trans, lesbian, and gay characters in soap operas, drama series, movies, and sitcoms. Tolerance of sexual diversity is slowly growing in society by bringing to people's souls images of sexual identities, which they might not be familiar with. The media can play a role in marketing the popular more or less comfortable with its way of living. The popular media has a significant, but not entirely straightforward, to the sense of gender and identity. Media images are diverse, diffuse, and contradictory. And this is the latest updates for gender and media. We'll be right back for the hashtag Trending with Kim. So, sit back and relax.
Generation namin, yung daw. Namin, walang consulting. The only topic to be real lesbians. Issues like, creamy lang. Better, fitness thing. Creamier pa more. Only to get well coffee, hatches my teeth. For us, let's look at creamy oil for the food. Juicy, we choose. Let's look at creamy oil. Ika, what do you choose?
Hashtag Trending with Kim.
kid you not, as soon as I turned on the camera, my heart just like immediately started beating so hard. But I'm going to deal with it because I have something to tell you guys. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I just felt like I